Hey guys, in this video I will show you all the cubes from level 26 to 50. And it's basically part 2 because I had one part before. This was the part from level 1 to 25. And if you haven't seen it, I would recommend to see it. But this is like the video with more crazier cubes than the previous video. And it's not over, so there are 2 more parts I want to do. And each level shows a different cube that's harder than the level before. That means they get crazier every level. So yeah, enjoy it. So at level 26, I have this cube. It's basically like a Megaminx, but the thing is you can rotate it like this. So it's basically just not like a Megaminx, but the shape of it is the same. I actually think level 25 from previous video is a little bit harder, but I think because this has more sides, it takes longer, but still it's nothing too hard. Level 27 is this cube. At first it looks pretty scary or pretty normal. I don't know how you see it, but the thing is, it's a cube. That means if you can solve a cube, that's pretty easy. You can solve this cube. It's just one more algorithm you have to learn, but it's the same thing almost. It's just this one is the middle piece of this cube, and these are the 4 corners. So if you have this cube right there, like on the disk, you can see it. It's basically just this one is the middle part and it can turn. That means you need to learn an extra algorithm to solve it. So this is actually a Pyraminx, but the problem is it has one more layer, so it's way bigger. Like it's like 4x4, I don't know. But it's basically just the same thing, but bigger, so I guess it's a little bit harder, but I don't think it's too hard. So you all maybe know the mirror cube. It's basically a cube which can shapeshift because of different shapes. It doesn't have any colors. So this is actually the 4x4 cube of the mirror cube. So there are actually even bigger ones. I will probably buy them in the future. And these ones are actually pretty crazy. I mean, if you want to solve it like just so that you have this cube right, like on the shape, it's not too hard. But the thing is, there are actually, I don't know if you can see it, but there are lines on each of these pieces and they show in one direction, like this or like this. And if you want to solve it like this too, so that the lines show in the same direction, it can be pretty hard. And like this middle piece shows like this, but the round shows like this. That means it's not actually solved. You may have heard from the axis cube. This is the 4x4 axis cube, so even bigger than the normal one. And it's even harder because there are more pieces, so it's very tricky to solve. And the thing is that these pieces are basically the same, just different colors. So it's pretty difficult to solve, I think. If you know how to solve the 4x4 cube, it's good. But you still have to know how to do it, because only like this you can see the 4x4 cube. I think this is the middle part, like this, and then all around it is the 4x4 cube. So it's very tricky. Now we have this bigger Megaminx. So you will see the name like on this side and the level on this side, so that you know what cube is right on this table. So I think it's called Kilominx, but the problem is the 2x2 Megaminx is called Kilominx, but this is the 4x4 because it has 4 pieces. And it's something like Kilominx, I don't know, but yeah, it's pretty much the 4x4 cube. And if you do it like the 4x4 cube, you will do it like the Megaminx after that. And then you have to know like if 2 or 3 algorithms at the end that don't show up on the Megaminx, so it's basically harder. The Megaminx is just 3 pieces, this is 4, so this is harder. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now we have the egg. At first, it's just the egg. It's also a 3x3 cube, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like. But yeah, it's pretty much not as easy as you think, because there are pieces that are identical. And if you swap these 2 pieces, the cube is unsolvable. So it's basically, I don't know if you can even see it, because I can't see it. I tried to solve this cube and I had to guess which piece belongs where, because there are two identical pieces on this cube. That means if you put the wrong one in, the cube is unsolvable. Next we have the 2x3x4 cube, and it's basically just, yeah, it's nothing crazy, but still it can shapeshift a little bit like this. So it gets quite tricky, but I don't think it's like too hard. Maybe this, but I don't think, because these cubes in the next levels I think they're harder. So this is the Sudoku cube, and the problem with this is you have to know how to play Sudoku, and you have to be a master in it, because you have to know which piece belongs on which side, so that on every side Sudoku is complete. Like, you know how Sudoku works. Like, each of these lines can only have one number and not two identical, and that's the problem. This cube is full of numbers, so you just have to know how to do it, and it's pretty scary, I think. Now we have the 3x3x4 cube, so it's even bigger than this one, and I think it's harder because it has like more pieces. So on this cube you can only turn it like this and turn it, because you can't turn just half of it and turn it. But this one is the problem. You can turn it like this, turn it like this, turn it like this. So you don't have to do like 180 degrees to turn it, but actually you can turn it like 4 times. And that's pretty bad. I don't know how to solve it. And this one is the 3x4x5 cube. Even worse, because it's even bigger. So you can actually scramble it around very, very much. Like, come on, what's that? That's ridiculous. But it looks pretty cool. Now we have this cube. So it's basically just a 2x3x3 cube. Nothing crazy. But the thing is, this circle is evil. Like, really bad. This side only turns like this outer layer, so the circle doesn't turn. But if you turn the underside, it starts turning. That means you can scramble it really bad. So yeah, I don't think I can solve it. It's too difficult. Now we have also like a pyramids, but the problem is it's like there are pieces that can't turn because they're together. So actually there are 2 pieces, but here are some pieces that are 2 in 1. That means you can't turn it because they won't do it. And this is on every side. That means there are 4 of these, like 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it's even harder to turn because there are so many of these. I'll guess the square one is pretty good in this spot. I mean, it's nothing too hard, but I think it's pretty hard if you don't know how to solve it, obviously. But there are some algorithms that are very long. I don't know how to solve it. I tried to learn it. I could, like, a little bit. But yeah, it's pretty hard. Like, it's nothing too easy. Next we have this. So this is also like 2 layers, like this cube. But the thing is, it has so many pieces, and the problem is if you turn just like 1 time, nothing crazy, you know, 1 time, and turn it, everything is scrambled. Like everything. Like what? How is this even possible? So I think this cube is really bad. Like, come on. You can't tell me this one is not bad. Now we have this clock. I don't know how to solve the normal clock, but I think because this one is actually a bigger version, I think it's pretty hard. So I don't know, but I think like it's pretty hard. So I don't know. I think it's just harder. This one is even worse than this other cube. It also has 2 layers. But the problem with this cube is you can only turn it like this circle shows. So if the circle shows this way, like you can see the line, you can only turn it like this, and not like the other sides as on this cube. Here you can just turn every side as you want. Here you have a limit, like just one. And only the underside can turn it sometimes, so it's like really awful. I don't think I will ever solve this cube. Now we have a 3x3 cube also, but this cube is really hard, because these pictures are very difficult to solve. The thing is, each side looks different at first. Oh, here you can see this one is the same as this one, just with little dots on it. Like this piece belongs somewhere here or there. That means it's like really hard. You don't know, you have to know which little points are on which side. So this is like really bad. This one is also the same as this one, and this one is the same as this one. So it's basically just trying to guess which piece belongs where, and that's just too hard. So this one is actually a Siamese cube. That means it's a cube combined with another cube, and it's basically just the regular 3x3 cube with the 2x3x3 cube. So it's like nothing normal, and it's pretty hard. I mean, like, it's nothing too easy, obviously. So I think it's really difficult to solve. I mean, like, come on, there are two cubes, and this one's actually, I think, harder than a normal cube, so it's pretty hard. This is one of the cubes I will probably never solve, because the thing is, this is basically like this one again, but this one only had two sides with the circle. This one has every side with the circle, and I think I did a video about this, because there are actually, I think, 6 or 8 different cubes of these. So they're all the same with the circle, but they are different because not each side turns with it. So here, for example, the circle doesn't turn, but here it turns. That means it's different. Here it doesn't turn too, doesn't turn, turns with it. So it's basically just random, and to solve it is basically just to put these pieces on the belonging corner, and then if this is all finished, like I don't know how you solve it. I don't know. It's just too difficult. Now we have the square 2. So in the last video, as I've told, I had square 0. It's very easy. Then we have square 1. I had in this video too. And this is square 2. So even harder. And the problem with this is, look at this. Square 1 has these big pieces and these little pieces. So it's 4 little pieces, 4 big corners. This one has only little pieces. Like, only. I don't know if you can see it. Basically, it's just even worse. So you can turn it like this, like this, like this, as you want. So there's no corner that is not turning. So this is just really awful. Okay, I know the circle again, but don't worry, this is even harder. So you know this one and this one with the circle. Look at these layers. I mean, come on. What? 7 layers? And the thing is, it's also, this one is not turning with it. This one is turning with it. So it's like this one. But the thing is, you can also shapeshift. So that's basically the end for it. I don't know, that's ridiculous. Like 7 layers and the circle too, that's just too much. Now we are at the top 3 cubes of this video. So this is level 48. And oh my god. You know, you have seen this in the video. It's basically this cube. But the problem is, this one has 4 layers. And it's even worse to solve, because there are just so many things you can do. It actually looks like the square one, but actually you can only turn it like it shows in the middle part. So it's just really awful. And also like 4 layers are not 3 or 2, so it's even more. You can just turn it like this, and then that's just ridiculous. Okay, circles again. Don't worry, in the next part I don't think there will be circles because they're too easy for the next part. But yeah, basically it's a Megaminx with circles, so it's even harder. So this is basically the hardest cube with circles, or one of the hardest cubes with circles, because it's basically like impossible. I mean, like the 3x3 cube, as I've shown, had basically 6 sides, because each cube has 6 sides, and they're random with turning with the circle or not turning with the circle, so it was just random. But this one even has more sides, so it's even harder to solve. More pieces, more sides, and each side's different, as on the cube too. Like some turn with the circle and some don't. So this is basically really, really hard to solve. And level 50 is actually this Siamese mirror cube. But the problem is just that it turns so tricky. Like, my brain is just hurting when I see this, because it's basically just, what is happening right there? Like, come on. You can't tell me this is serious, right? You can just scramble it around, and then, yeah, that's impossible. So yeah, this is the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. If you want the next part, you can comment on it, or I will just do it. I don't know. But basically, I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.